Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Researchers Writing Podcast. I am very happy that today we'll be talking, or I'll be talking, you'll be listening, if you like. Uh, I will be talking about the Researchers Writing Academy. That is the online academic writing program I'm running. It's the program that helps you get published consistently, get your research published consistently without burning out. So while still enjoying the writing process, and actually, enjoying your academic career. Um, if you're listening to this close to its publication date, close to the publication date of this episode, I want to give you a quick heads up before we dive in. I want to go into sort of the behind the scenes of the Researchers Writing Academy. I want to talk about um, what it is, what it's for, why I started it. I want to give you a glimpse into the actual program, like what does it actually look like, and kind of just talk through all the elements we have and how they all work together, and sort of the things that people manage to achieve thanks to the Researchers Writing Academy. So really like a walkthrough behind the scenes. Hopefully fairly comprehensive podcast episode. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see me walk through on the screen. If you're just listening to the audio, well, you can just hear me walk you through it. And if you want to see what it looks like, pop over to YouTube and watch the video there. Um, all right. Also, I think in Spotify, actually, you can see the video as well. Um, so uh, uh, regarding the heads up, I said I would give you a heads up because we are going to raise the price, the enrollment fee of the Researchers Writing Academy on May 6, 2026. So if you've been thinking to join, then now is the very best time to join us before the prices going up. If you join us before May 6, 2026, you can save $500 per year on the enrollment fee. Um, and if you are not quite sure, is the Researchers Writing Academy the ideal next step for me? Then yeah, this video hopefully will answer that for you. So, what is the Researchers Writing Academy? Who is it good for? Well, it is really ideal, and this is the biggest group of researchers we have in the academy, our assistant professors. Um, but we also actually attract a whole range of other researchers. So we have PhD students in the program, we have postdocs in the program, we have associate professors, full professors, we have pre-academics, we have like independent researchers, researchers working at research institutes, like we have industrial. Maybe we even have industrial researchers. I'm not quite sure right now. So we have like a whole spectrum full of different researchers in the program, but sort of the biggest group are assistant professors. Um, and the reason why it works sort of across the board, like kind of no matter what career stage you're at, is because it's so comprehensive. So there's so many things that academics struggle with, and we kind of struggle each one of them, so that no matter what you struggle with, you'll probably find support in the program to solve that problem. So if you're very new, let's say you're a PhD student starting out to write, you'll get the whole system. Like you'll get walked through step by step. Okay, you don't need to have any prior knowledge about writing when you join. Um, and the program will work really well still. Now, if you are further along in your career, you may not have the problem that, oh, I don't even know where to start. You may be like, well, I kind of am publishing papers, but it's taking me a long time, or I'm not getting published in the journals I want to publish in, and you just want to sort of level up. Um, sort of writing and publication skill. Um, okay. Then in terms of fields, we have researchers in the Researchers Writing Academy in a lot of different fields. Generally, the science fields. So, who we aren't a good fit for are researchers in the humanities. So, if you are in the humanities, then I'm so sorry, because we do get requests all the time. But the Researchers Writing Academy is just not quite ideal for you. I mean, you're welcome to join and check it out, but I'm just saying the process that we're teaching, I'm going to talk more in detail about this later on, is just a little better for the sciences. It's just more, um, it's taking that way of how you write a paper into account, where you have data that you gathered and you're writing like an empirical study based on that data. That is sort of um, the heart of the method that we're teaching in terms of writing papers. But in terms of scientific fields, so it works for the health sciences, so medicine, nursing, all the things, life sciences, biology, physical sciences, chemistry, physics, um, environmental sciences, earth sciences, social sciences, psychology, economics. Have had a few economists, a lot of psychologists, other social sciences. The Researchers Writing Academy works really well, and what we teach works for both qualitative and quantitative studies or mixed method studies. All right, so what is the Researchers Writing Academy, right? Um, we have had already over 700 researchers enroll and use the system that we teach. And that system is like what we give you is this complete writing system. So it's a system that helps you write articles time efficiently in a structured way. It helps you to get your articles published in journals. It helps you write reliably week after week. So show up for your writing reliably. Um, and it also helps you actually prioritizing the right thing at any time, because I think that's a really, really big problem for a lot of us. All right, so why did I start the Researchers Writing Academy? Um, I noticed that as I was working as a scientific editor and also academic writing coach, there was a lot of outdated academic writing advice out there. Is things I still see being said, and these are I'm gonna record actually another whole episode on these specific outdated pieces of advice that I'm hearing. But I mean things like, oh, you have to write every day. Like you can only have a writing routine, or you can only publish consistently if you have a writing routine that um makes you wake up every morning and write for an hour or something like that, or half an hour. Um, it's also things like, oh, you have to hit a certain word target every writing session. Or, oh, you have to do the thinking while you're writing. Like writing is like thinking about your research. And these are just like little things that I just noticed. People were saying that in my experience, in my own writing experience and my experience working with academics who are writing papers just wasn't true. Um, it was also because I found that researchers were throwing away the word story a lot. So they would say, and I've even been told this when I was a PhD student, um, I was told, oh, like just make sure you're writing a good story. Just make sure this is a really concise story. And I was just, really not sure what that meant. Um, and I think a lot of researchers are in this boat. Like this is what I noticed. Like we say story and we don't actually define what that is. So that was also a motivation. And then what I also noticed was that a lot of researchers are just doing writing very inefficiently. Like there is just a lot of time spent on writing and rewriting and editing. Like especially on the rewriting and editing, I saw researchers spend so much time, and I realized this is not the most efficient way. Like I knew it could be done better, but nobody was really speaking about like the process. I still don't really see people talk about this actually. So like, okay, you have your data, and now what? Like you have a blank page, you have some data, now what? Like how do you actually turn this um into a paper, right? You have a book. Yeah. So this is what I saw. Um Now for new PIs specifically for assistant professors, um, what I notice for them especially, and this is why I think the Researchers Writing Academy is such a good fit for them, is that the problem they run into is that their workload suddenly gets really high. Like as a PhD student and as a postdoc, you still have so much more time to spend on writing. So even if you don't have like your writing process super figured out, as a postdoc and as a as a PhD student, typically you have so much time you can sort of what's the word? Like you can make up for that. So you can have an inefficient process, but still just make up by time, and it doesn't really matter. You're still gonna get published if you do good research, and you still somehow manage to advance. But when you then become an assistant professor, what happens is that you suddenly, your calendar is just filled with other things, and you then feel, oh, I don't actually have the time for writing anymore. And the way I'm writing just simply doesn't work anymore because um, I don't have the time. I don't have full days that I can sort of use to trying to figure things out. I can't I just don't have the space to just, I don't know, block out 3 whole days close to a deadline and just get it all done. And what then typically happens is that a lot of assistant professors push the writing into their evenings, into their nights, once the kids are asleep or in the weekends. So they really try to catch up, but that then means that um, the academic job just becomes so like all-consuming. Um, and yeah, it's really taking over your private life, right? So this is like a thing, I don't know, I feel really passionate about um, such a like uh, cliched word, or it feels like an outdated word. So what I want to say is I feel passionate about work-life balance, about having a work-life balance. But I do think that does still capture what I mean. I do think it's important that we show up as whole people, like as whole humans, to the world. And I think it's really great to be passionate about your job. And I think especially as an academic, as a scientist, this is what the world needs. It needs you, it needs your passion, it needs your brain, your knowledge, but it also needs you to be able to be a full person, because I fully believe that if we are a full person, we do so much better work. And that isn't working more, that is working less, a fewer hours, and doing back to work. So this goes back to the prioritizing. This means we need to prioritize, but it also means simply that we need to have systems. So I think having a writing system, that is just such a fundamental thing. I really truly believe every academic needs to have a writing system. If you don't have a system, you're losing time. You're making your life so much harder. Um, I also think you need other systems like kind of time management system, project management systems, and they kind of interact with the writing system here and there a little bit. But I think the writing system is the most fundamental thing. And once you've figured that out, actually, I think you're gonna branch out and figure other things out too. I also think a teaching system, for example, something you probably also want to have. Well, anyway, I didn't even want to spend talking so much about this. But I think the very systemic underlying issue that there is, why I started the Researchers Writing Academy, is simply that academia doesn't give you this system. Like it doesn't teach you how to write. Um, and that just means, or typically doesn't. Some people are lucky. So we then end up in this situation where if you come from a big lab, or a lab with a big name attached to it, you're most likely either had it really easy to get published, or relatively easy, it's never easy, because that name just opened doors. or you actually had a good mentor who taught you how to do it. So if you got taught, you're one of the few people, one of the few academics, researchers who actually got taught a good process. But I would say the vast majority, at least in my experience, because those are the people who come to me, d just don't have that, right? So really what academia does, in my opinion, it just favors those who had that privilege to kind of absorb some publishing success or absorb a writing system from someone. All right. So what has the Researchers Writing Academy? So actually, the Researchers Writing Academy is turning 5 years on June 1st, which is really yeah, a big milestone. Like it's almost like a little unbelievable to me. I mean, I always wanted to build something that lasts. So I've always been uh like I don't know, the way I run it, the way I think about it is always long term. I do want this to stay around for, I don't know, more 5 more years, 5 more years. So anyway, so we're turning 5, so and we've had, I mentioned this earlier, we've had many hundreds of researchers go through the program, um, some of which actually are still part of the Researchers Writing Academy today. Some of this that started on June 1st, 2021. So that's fun. Anyway, so what has the Researchers Writing Academy helped people achieve? Well, there's a whole number of things. The first thing is that we teach you a process. We have taught the researchers who have joined us a process that allows them or you to write a paper from data to finished draft that is submittable in 8 weeks. So, and actually, some people, I'm thinking there's actually an interview on my website, a case study interview with a researcher, Dr. Jiang, um, who has been able to do it in 4 weeks. So there's definitely researchers who can do it faster. It depends also how much time you have available, right? Like if it's the summer, you may be able to do it faster, etc., etc. Anyway, but we have a process that really walks you through step by step, okay, how to do this in 8 weeks, whether you want to do it faster or want to take more time. Um, and it really t teaches you this like streamlined writing and publishing system. So what we've helped people with is just establish like a really reliable, robust system that they can rely on. Um, the really fun thing for me is that having this system, having the process, having the community, I'm going to talk more about how this is all included, really has helped researchers feel a lot of momentum about their writing. Really like, I've heard this so much of like, oh, I've written my paper, I've submitted it. I'm so excited to start the next one. Or like, I finished this writing sprint, which is something we facilitate as well. And I can't wait to like get back to writing now. Like just this like kind of momentum that I think uh it's very easy to feel really beat up about writing. So having feeling this momentum, this actual like excitement about writing is like really beautiful to me because I think writing is a very, very nourishing, fulfilling thing. Um, or it can be. So it's really lovely to me if people get to experience that. Um, I also really like the joy. I just think like feeling joyful about your writing is just making it, I mean, it's making your life better, so it makes everyone else's life better. But also, it will make you write more. So you'll just be so much more productive if you actually like what you're doing. We've helped researchers establish a writing routine. This is so fun to witness how researchers in the program, in the Researchers Writing Academy, how you see them show up week after week after week consistently. And how, when you can witness them, chucking away at that writing project bit by bit by bit, and then finally telling you, oh, I got this submitted. Like it's so fun. Um, Also, what we help people do is just feeling structured, feeling like you're not all over the place, but there's actually a structure. You're following a structure, following a plan, which makes you feel accomplished when you actually achieve your goals. Um, and what it does is that it kind of eliminates this feeling of, oh, I'm so behind. I'm so behind. I think we all have this. I think our world is so fast paced at the moment. So I don't know, we all, me included, like I have these moments where it's just like, oh my God, I'm so behind. Like, how is this? But we are not behind, right? Like, we are where we're supposed to be. There's no like script. Like, you don't need to follow anyone else's script. You're on your own journey, and there's only so much we can do. And yeah. Anyway, this is a whole other podcast episode. I just realized. What we also help researchers do is just get into this deep focus. So I think this is again something that is kind of getting lost in today's world. It's very easy to spend a whole workday, if you're an academic, doing kind of shallow work. Like, I don't know if any of you follow Cal Newport. You should definitely read Deep Work if you haven't read that yet. Like, that's just, I think, such a foundational piece. And I think trying to really cultivate deep focus in your workday as an academic, as a scientist, is absolutely beneficial. So this is what we help people do, various things. And also what has happened is that researchers started to feel in control of their academic career. Like when you suddenly understand, oh, I have the skill that I can actually write a compelling paper. I can actually write a paper that I know will most likely get accepted, or I know I can get published. Um, if you know, oh, I have like kind of the process under control, it doesn't like get derailed too much. Then you just have this like once you experience this, you have this like deep trust in yourself, and you feel like, okay, like I have actually my career under control. It's not like kind of running my life. All right. Um, So, what exactly is in the Researchers Writing Academy? I've kind of talked around this a lot, but what's actually, part of the program? Well, the first thing is the journal publication formula. That's our proprietary framework to write desk rejection proof papers for top tier journals fast. So it teaches you the skill of, no, let me first go through the list. Secondly, we provide individual feedback on your writing on live calls. Then we have co-writing. Um, almost every weekday, I think every weekday except for Fridays, and on some weekdays we have multiple sessions. So we cover more time zones. And that just helps you make writing more, I don't know, make it, well, it makes writing more fun. It makes it easier to show up for your writing. We also have monthly planning workshops. They're also live group calls. And they really ensure that you always work on your most needle moving projects. Then we have weekly accountability and personal check-ins. Um, it's like kind, gentle, supportive accountability. I don't actually like that word very much. Um, but yeah, because yeah, I can't think of a better word. Let me call it accountability. Um, and it just helps you stay on track with your writing week by week. We also have a member-only community. So we have the whole program hosted on Circle, which started out as a community platform, and our courses, I should say, are hosted there, and also all the events, um, kind of yeah, where you can add them to your calendar and the event schedules, things like that. I think I'll pull it up in a little bit, but let me walk you through all the different pieces and why they work so well together. Um, okay, so the Researchers Writing Academy, it's really started out as an online course, um, which was basically almost exclusively the journal publication formula. So that's my online course that teaches this framework, this like step-by-step process to write a paper from data to complete a draft. And This, the journal publication formula, this online course, this whole system, that's still, I would say, the heart of the Researchers Writing Academy. Um, it is where you learn the foundation. It's where you get walked through that process. It's where you learn to write a paper that tells a compelling story. Um, and a compelling story means your paper will, it will get easier to get past the journal editor and also get past the peer reviewers. Um, it also teaches you how to write a paper that has the reader just like fly through the text. Like writing that really flows, that is easy to consume. I'm saying easy, like I'm doing a little bit of quotation marks, just because we just want to make sure I know that everyone's research or a lot of research can be a little like complicated at first, even to understand for your peers, for people who do research in exactly that area, it can be hard to kind of get there. So we really want to make sure that we are super clear and super kind of logical in the way we're talking about that. And then the third thing is you'll end up with a paper that is very concise. So that is not bloated, that only says exactly what you need to say, so that you communicate what you want to communicate. So you communicate that story and nothing else. Um, and also that makes sure that you won't get those like reviewer number two type misunderstandings, right? Like it's all it's a paper that the journal editor, the peer reviewers, the readers who you want to end up citing you, they all find it easy to read, they find it compelling, they find it interesting. They don't get confused halfway through or two sentences in. Yeah, so that's the journal publication formula. The beauty of this is that it does all of this in like kind of one process. So if you just follow the process, all the things that I just mentioned will be fulfilled automatically. It's kind of a three-in-one thing. Oh, I don't know. Um, but then there's other things that are part of the Researchers Writing Academy. And the first thing I want to mention is the writing feedback calls. So these are calls that we host twice per month where you can ask questions on the course material, get coaching if you get stuck on something, and you get custom writing reviews. So you can submit your introduction section, for example, or your story outline. Um, and get feedback on that from me or other writing coaches. Then we have those co-writing sessions I already mentioned. We have several per week. I think currently we have six per week. So this is six 1 hour sessions, um, kind of spread out Monday to Thursday, just because most people don't seem to want to write on a Friday, which I understand. Um, and yeah, then in addition to that, we'll also do 3 hour writing blocks, 3 hour co-writing blocks. We call them mini writing retreats. And we do those 4 times per month currently. Um, where you have it's a 3 hour block. The actual writing time is 2 times 50 minutes and 1 times 30 minutes. And what we do is that we walk you through a really like this structure has worked for so many people so well, like people who join these retreats for the first time. They often take that structure for their own writing. So even when they don't join co-writing, they adapt that structure because it works so well for so many people. So what we do is we do goal setting at first. So we check in briefly with ourselves and we do goal setting. What do I want to get done today? We really think it through, you know? And then we do a meditation to really get, leave the rest of the day behind, get into this deep focus, get into the writing zone. And then we dive into writing. And the nice thing about co-writing is that someone else is doing all the timekeeping. And this is a funny thing because it feels like, oh, that's not so much like just set a timer on your phone or whatever, right? But in reality, once you experience it, is that having someone else take care of all of that is such a big thing. You free up your brain to just you're just writing. Like you literally your brain has one job and that is to write, and someone else is telling you it's time for a break now. Get up from your desk. Look out of oops, knocking my mic around. Not good. Um, get up from your desk, go for a walk. No, not go for a walk. I mean, go for a walk around your house. Um, I sometimes say do a dance, like put on your favorite song. Like we give you some prompts for the break, we get back to writing, and then the whole job is just you have your goal defined. Just do what you said you're gonna do. And yeah, there's also, of course, the community aspect of seeing other people there who do it with you, who celebrate you, who you see week after week again on these calls. That's just a lot of fun. And it is. I was just talking to a member of the Researchers Writing Academy yesterday, whose interview we're also going to release soon on the podcast, who was just saying how like having this time um, in your calendar is just so good. Um, and makes it so much easier to actually do the writing as opposed to when you just put the time in your calendar and it's just a writing session with yourself. So when you know other people are there, that's a whole thing. For some reason, our brain psychologically finds it much easier to show up for it and actually do it. And I think maybe it's connected to that we find it more fun and we like to do fun things. Um, so that's the co-writing. So I was talking about now the online course, the feedback calls. The feedback calls are twice a month. The co-writing that's happening almost every day, every weekday. And then once a month we do live planning workshops. So that's workshops, these are workshops that I facilitate where I walk you through first of all, we reflect a little bit on the previous month, but also we really think through the upcoming month and think about, okay, how much time do I have available for writing? Um, which days, are maybe other things happening? Do we have vacations? Do we have any like extra things happening? Um, and then we go into, okay, reprioritizing. Let's look at our publication pipeline. Let's decide, and we have a tool for this. Let's decide which project should be your priority. What should you what should you do first? And then we go and break down this project into chunks. We go and break it down into tasks. We try to estimate how much time each task take, and then we make a whole kind of plan for the month. Um this is so effective. This like just like having someone walk you through this. Like maybe some of you are already doing this. I doubt that. In my experience, not many researchers do this meticulously or like reliably every month. And I know from my own experience how bloody hard it is to do this every month. I honestly wish I had a coach who would do this with me. Um, Maybe this is something I should look into, but having someone who does this for you, you just have to show up, and whether you show up live or watch the recording, you get the worksheet and you just, do the work. It takes an hour and then you're done. And then you have a plan created for the whole month that's realistic. Um, so that just ensures like this whole like 1 hour per month investment. And I think if you watch the recording, you can probably even do it a little faster. Um, you make sure that you're always focusing on the right writing task and write paper at the right time. So you never need to like second guess, oh, what should I work on now? Oh, I have this backlog of papers. I don't even know where to start. Like that completely eliminates this feeling, and you can be safe and the knowledge, okay, I'm doing the right thing right now. Then we have the accountability club. That kind of goes even more granular into your week. So if you like having this structure, just like checking in with the community and just telling people, okay, this week I'm gonna do this. That's basically what it is. I'm gonna write on these days, and this is what I hope to accomplish. And then on Fridays we check in with you and go like, hey, Sandra, hey Tolu, how did it go? How did your writing go this week? Did you get things done? And just this little bit of company. It makes, it's like kind of self-accountability, but it also just feels a lot nicer because, there's people who are actually interested in how your writing is going and how things, yeah, are progressing for you. Then, lastly, we have our circle community, which is always open to connect and share things. It's kind of the whole, I mean, I said the journal publication formula was the heart of the course. The community is, how shall I say, but it's kind of woven through everything. It's what's the word? I don't know. Maybe we don't need a metaphor, but um, yeah, it's kind of woven throughout the program. It's very important, and you get to choose though how you want to show up and which elements of the Researchers Writing Academy actually will be useful to you. So that's the Researchers Writing Academy. Um, Let me share my screen and um let me show you how that looks from the inside. All right, so this is what it looks like from the inside. So when you join, this is the first thing you see, the Start Here space, with some onboarding steps. And we have everything that you need is in this hub in on this platform. You get to say hi. There's a tutorial. We have our communities hub with like an announcement space where we tell you, when call recordings are uploaded, when we add new features, we often add new resources. And actually, I want to say also that we, all the way the Researchers Writing Academy has grown really has been member led. Like, we haven't just kind of pasted on feature after feature, kind of in a willy-nilly way, but rather we always like listen to what our members are saying. Where do they show up to? What do they show up to? Where are they engaging? And then we use that and build more of that. If people don't use things, we eliminate them. And this is kind of how we have built the Researchers Writing Academy bottom up. Um, and really dialed it into, okay, what's actually effective to have this like really robust and reliable writing system. And we're still adding things and improving things. We're always like looking, okay, what can we make better? Like it's not like just a program that's kind of sitting there and getting dusty, but we're really kind of working on it each week. And improving it and adding to it, depending on, what we see is necessary, what we see would be beneficial, things like that. Um, so yeah, so it has evolved over the last 5 years into this really comprehensive program, but yeah, it is. I just want to say it's this really like bottom up approach. Okay, so we have a community space. I'm not going to go in just to not violate the privacy of the members inside the academy. Um, so I can't show you some of the spaces from the inside, but here's our general community space, our accountability club that I mentioned, where we have the weekly check-ins, a share win space, which is really fun to read, so motivating. Always love that. We have here our live sessions. So we have co-writing sessions. Here, mini writing retreats here. Actually, we can click into those. Um, so here you can see all the sessions and you can see who it's hosted by and what time, and you can RSVP. And by clicking this, it doesn't work in this mode I'm in, but by clicking this, you can add it to your calendar. Same for the writing retreats. And feedback calls, planning workshops, and these are other community events. We do writing sprints and kind of multiple day writing retreats and things like that as well. We do an occasional book club sometimes when there's a book that has inspired me or someone else that we feel like, oh, we should read that, we should talk about. We do that. And then we have a co-writing room, which is basically an open Zoom room that's always open for you to co-write. So you can even arrange with other members to co-write during, if there's any time outside this facilitated sessions that you want to co-write, you can do that in the co-writing room. Or you can just go on your own and hang out and see if anyone joins you. You can post in the space and say, hey, I'm in the co-writing room. I don't know, this from this to this time, come join me, something like that if you like as well. Then we have our ability writing routine course that I actually didn't talk about. But there's a whole other support element here. This is a mini course that kind of walks you through some like project management things, some like, oh, how shall I like streamline the process with my co-authors? What if I have some like fears and like big feelings towards writing? We talk about this here. I also talk about deep work a lot, making realistic time estimates, all of these kind of things. We have these writing session audio guides. So this is also for when you want to write on your own, outside the facilitated co-writing sessions, we have recordings of me guiding you through a writing session. So that's cool. We have a writing tool library with like additional tools that help you with your writing sessions. This is all sort of like writing routine related, writing practice related. And then here we have the journal publication formula, and we divided this into the 4 different steps. And then we have a version of longer videos. So you can choose, do you want to watch this in small, shorter chunks, or do you want to watch longer lessons? But the longer lessons aren't like hours long. I think the longest will be maybe 40 minutes long, 20 minutes. I can't even remember. But most, even in the long session, they're typically like 10 to 20 minutes long. Yeah, we have some bonuses that you can get access to if you like, and our writing sprint archive. Yeah, so this is what the Researchers Writing Academy kind of platform looks like. The all the calls are hosted on Zoom, so they're not hosted in Circle directly. They do have a live room now, but it's not quite up to par, we think. We prefer Zoom, the quality of Zoom calls. So that's why we host everything on Zoom. And yeah, that's the whole program. So I should feel like I should take a breath. This is, yeah, that was the Researchers Writing Academy, the writing system that our busy professors are using to get their research published consistently while building really fulfilling, fruitful, and self-directed careers. Yeah, if you want to join us inside, we would love to have you, first of all. And also now is the very best time to do that. Because as I mentioned at the top of this recording, the price is going up on May 6th, 2026. So if you want to join us, go to annaclemens.com. So that's ANNACLEMENS.com. And you can just navigate to the top right. I think my video is mirrored, so top right, and hit the join us button, and then you get to enroll. And yeah, we can't wait to support you, getting your research published consistently, having you build out this writing system, having like a writing system that actually fuels your career. And I don't mean just like in this literal sense of like, oh, it like gives you like the paper fuel, the publication fuel, to advance your career. But I also mean really in this like energy way. Like you just feel like good about your career, and you feel like you have the energy to pursue this, and just feel good and calm and motivated and energized to pursue a really amazing career. That's what I want for you. And that's what I want, honestly, for our world, because it needs people like you who do great research, who actually do advance. science, who do advance, progress. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop now. It's getting sentimental, but uh I would love to have you. We would love to have you. We're ready. If you want to join us, we can't wait to meet you. And yeah, see you very soon on the next episode. Bye.